All right. I have no idea how you guys are gonna go. Uh, oh, I don't know how you guys are gonna realistically react to this, but this is something that I'm gonna try a little bit new. Uh, Something I'm gonna do a little bit differently. Maybe like every once a week, I might try and do this and do like a video to react to. Um, just so I have a little bit more YouTube friendly content to post and all that. So I don't know why it says duplication error, but oh, it's because I have two of them. Yeah, just delete that. That's why. Okay, I've done figured it out. Cool. So, anyways, chat, might as well get into it. I have no idea. Howdy. We got Moist Critical on here. We're gonna be talking about fucking. I think this is GPU prices increasing or GPU prices hiking for the later like 50 series models and all that. Uh, I'm pretty sure that this is what this video is about, but yeah, might as well get into it. I don't have YouTube Premium. I'm low-key poor. I don't got shit like that, but
Hear the
let's get into it, I
tragedy of
guess.
GPU prices? I thought not. Not a story the AI bros would tell you. Well, I hope you're bending over because the suppository's coming in one way or the other. A recent report indicates that nvidia is going to be pushing the prices of RTX 5090 up to 5K.
Yo.
This is still an unconfirmed rumor from an insider source.
Okay, so on some real shit, real quick, real quick. 5K is insane for a fucking GPU. I have a 4060. I have a 4060 in my system, right? 5K for a fucking GPU is insane. And it's a 5090, right? Like a 4090, I'm pretty sure it was like, I think last year, I think the peak that I saw it get to was like 2K. Dude, that's fucking insane. That's some crazy shit. Dude, fucking $5,000 for like an NVIDIA GPU is insane. And I get why they're doing it, but at the same time I don't understand it at all. Like the whole like needing to get into like AI support, bro. Why? Like we don't need a shit ton of like AI like shit or like not even like AI shit. I'd say like AI like GPUs to sit there and run like servers. Like they don't need to stop producing like GPUs just go like fully into AI. I think it's stupid. I think it's really stupid. I mean, I use AI anyways every day. Um, Everybody does, I feel like, or a good majority of like the U.S. population and just anybody even outside of the U.S. uses a lot of AI. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, why? Well, like, why are we deciding to sit there not make any like RAM? Like, I genuinely won't be able to upgrade my PC for a fat minute because of how much RAM is going up. Dude, I looked up like 32 gigs of DDR5 because I was like thinking about going and doing like a CPU and like a GPU upgrade, and the CPU was like maybe like $400. The RAM was like double that. It was like $800. Why? I have no clue. No fucking clue.
A,
No
uh,
fucking clue.
this is still an unconfirmed rumor from an insider source in South Korea, from what I can understand. That's kind of like
Oh shit. Uh,
boots on the ground that's talking about it right now, which is where this headline is stemming from. Previous price was 2K. This is over double.
see?
That's an awfully hard bargain there. 5,000 clams for a GPU here. Not exactly an easy sell to
That
most
shit's
people,
insane.
I would imagine. Most sensible, sane human beings on the planet would be pretty upset about that. Now, again, this isn't fully confirmed, but what we do know is that, well, prices are probably going to be going up, which isn't all that surprising. I think most people were able to predict this. Don't need to be Baba Vanga to have that kind of future sight. We're already seeing it with RAM prices, and I gotta tell you, you might not like to hear this, but we're gonna rip the band-aid off. It's because of AI. Everything that was once good in your life, or everything that was reasonably priced in the tech sector, is getting significantly worse and significantly more expensive because of AI. If you want to keep plugging your ears to that fact or just keep kicking the can down the road for the realization of AI having a supremely negative effect on your life, that's your call to make. But regardless, the sun still rises. The
I
AI plague, the
To be fair, I don't think AI has a crazy negative effect. I think that AI has a lot of good factors that come into it. But the thing is that $5,000 for a fucking GPU is like borderline stupid. Realistically stupid. Like you have to think about it this way. Like um when I was like 12, right? I wanted to get a PC so bad. Like I wanted to get into streaming really, really bad. When I was 12, I was like it's like 6 years ago. So it's like 2020, right? Dude, I wanted to get into streaming so bad. I used to play Fortnite like over the top, like so much. I was never gonna make it big in Fortnite because Fortnite was like one of those where it's like that was like peak time where it was popping off and all that. And then also you also had the COVID shutdown, so like nobody was doing school or anything like that. So it could have happened realistically, but I don't think so. I think it would have just been like a big flop. But at the same time, like if I wanted to get a PC back in 2020, I would have been able to actually purchase a GPU. Like right now, I'm not. The amount of money that like a person has to spend to even get a decent computer nowadays is fucking stupid. And that's because AI companies are sitting there taking over the market with GPUs and nvidia is allowing it. I think that the fact that nvidia is allowing it is borderline stupid and borderline one of the reasons why people are going to stop like buying GPUs off of nvidia. I've been thinking about it too. I've been thinking about buying like an AMD GPU, like a Radeon GPU. But the thing is that I don't know how the graphics support is. I also have been thinking about getting an Intel GPU, but the graphics support I've read up on that is terrible, and I mean terrible. And I don't say and it's not just like for like ray tracing or anything like that, but I feel like Nvidia's made it so like it's like one of those companies like Apple, right? Almost 95% of the time you're going to see somebody that has a fucking phone, like an Apple phone, AirPods, fucking Apple Watch. Almost everybody in the world has seen somebody that owns an iPhone or any type of like Apple product, whether it be the most simple, minute thing of like AirPods to a watch to a phone to a MacBook to anything like that. You're going to see somebody that has it. I think Nvidia's always been that type of style of like where they of like how they're kind of in the same ballpark as Apple. Apple's making it extremely hard for you to sit there and like even do simple, simple things to your phone. Like if I were to break the back glass on my phone, yeah, it'd be cheaper this year. But if I were to break the front LCD, the front LCD, I'm pretty sure is like close to like $500, and I can fact check that real quick too. Like, uh, hold up. Pro SC or SCREEN. New screen. Replacement cost. Okay, so it's not too bad, but that's if you have Apple Care. Like if you have Apple Care, the cost drops significantly to like $30. Which I do have Apple Care, but it's like if you think about it, if I don't break my phone within like the next like couple of months, it's almost like not even worth it to have Apple Care. It isn't. It's like if you're like sitting there and you're gonna want to like keep your screen forever. Yeah. Screen plus the back glass is 419. Front screen only is $330. Jesus Christ, dude. And then front screen or back glass for with Apple Care is like $30. Front screen and back glass is $99 to 150, which is insane. Insane. And to be honest with you, that's not what nvidia is doing. Nvidia is sitting there like making it harder for you to get a GPU because they're reducing their, I think they're reducing their shit down to I think 30% like volume of like output for graphics cards, which is insane. I don't know why they would do that. I know why they're doing it, but like I don't know what the reason is for them not just like it's like if they're making so much money off of AI, why wouldn't they just make a whole new production for just AI and then just keep graphics cards, still running through at the same production rate? Because like right now, to be honest with you, quite frankly, it's still fucking terrible. It's still like god awful. Like that's just me, but I can't justify it. I can't justify buying a new graphics card anymore. That's the worst part about all this. You cannot justify buying a new graphics card because if you buy a new graphics card anytime soon, you're gonna just get, like you're just gonna get fucking overpriced, mumbo jumbo.
Scourge is coming. Whether you want to accept it or not doesn't matter. It is coming fast, aggressive, hard, and unlubed. It is raw. So I think it's best that you start paying attention to all of this now. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled doom and gloom here. So the claim about the GPU prices from Nvidia and all that it comes from Newsys, a South Korean outlet. It was stressed that we're just seeing the beginning of monumental and borderline ridiculous price hikes in the GPU space. The report explained that sources have suggested a climb in RTX 5090 stakes from $2,000 at launch this year to as much as $5K later in 2026. AMD's
Dude,
RX 9000 series is apparently set to mimic that ticket growth, but not as steeply.
wait.
The article
Hold up. I didn't know AMD's doing the same fucking bullshit, dude. Yikes. Well, I will say if GPU manufacturers haven't already done it and you are looking to buy a GPU now, or if you're looking to buy a GPU in the future, buy it now. That's all I got to say. Buy it now. Because you won't be able to get a GPU in the next like 4 years. 4 years without it being like literally $5,000. It's also going to go up. There's a 100% rate that number is going to go up. Almost positive of it. Like I can almost be 100% positive that that fucking number is going to go up somehow, some way in the near future. Like I just, I don't know. I can't believe it. I can't believe that like GPU manufacturers are sitting there now raising everything up such a high market price when like the GPU like 5090, I've looked at the stats on it. It's not worth it to buy a 5090. They have AI features, yes, but like I don't know. I follow a lot of LTT and all that. I look at a lot of like specs and all that just in case like if I'm gonna go upgrade something, I can see how things are like kind of playing out. The 5090 isn't even really that like amazing in that if you're not using AI features. If you are using AI features, it is Great card. But at the same time, I mean, it's the same thing as like a 4090. Like if I were to go on like eBay, bro, like I could go purchase, a card off eBay. Like that's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be a recycled market. It's gonna be a GPU recycled market. It's not gonna be a like, oh, I'm gonna shell out 5 grand. There will be some people that do that. There's gonna be a lot of Nvidia like people that are gonna be like, yeah, dude, I need a GPU so fucking bad. I'm gonna go buy a brand new 5090 at the price of like $5,000. And they're not even going to throw anything else that's extra into it. It's also going to be a thing where scalpers are going to start buying, like, or going to be mass buying RTX 5090s and start selling them as, like, as, fucking 600 or $6,000 or something like that. Like, it's going to be a whole thing of, like, where people can get a market out of this. This is going to suck. I'm letting you guys know now. 2026 is looking like it's going to be a good year, but it's going to be a terrible year for PC builders and PC shops that all have to, that all have like their local customers that come in for PC repairs. PC repairs are going to be skyrocketed through the roof if you're building like custom PCs. You're having to get new components like new like RAM sticks, new GPUs. I wouldn't be surprised if the CPU market also, fell into a deep fucking depression of like you have to spend like $5,000 for a CPU. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I think that this is a terrible idea that we are going so far into AI. And I was actually talking to some guy at Best Buy the other day, and he was like, because I was gonna go buy a router, and he's like, well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, buying a router is going to be one of the most expensive things in the next few like in the few months. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, with AI, and he told me this. He told it to me just like this. He's like, with the AI consumption market and all that, like it's gonna be gaming is gonna be all online, where they're gonna be running off of like AI built servers, or they're gonna be running off of just servers in general. You're just gonna be game sharing, uh, or not game sharing, like the like Xbox Live. You're gonna be buying like Xbox Game Pass, and you're gonna just be streaming the game instead of having the actual copy of the game. You're also gonna have you're also gonna be running into things like how Nintendo is doing with Nintendo Switch 2, where it's a lease. It's not an actual like copy of the game. Like you don't own that copy of the game. You have a lease, but it's a forever lease, and you don't have to pay anything. Like you just have to pay up front, and you don't have to pay anything after that. And they can take it away from you. If let's say for example, like let's say you got banned on fucking R6 on Siege, and they made that fucking that shit not an actual game that you can like have a physical copy of. They're gonna make it where you have to lease it. This was when like R6. Wait, is R6 still? Yeah, you still have to pay for R6. I'm pretty sure, but they're gonna make it where your payment of R6 is gonna be a lease instead of an actual like physical copy. That's gonna suck. I'm just gonna let you guys know that's gonna suck. And to be honest with you, anybody could have predicted this from like a long time ago when they started doing just a lot of digital games instead of like physical copy games. So I mean, there's that.
1000 series is apparently set to mimic that ticket growth, but not as steeply. The article also has a brief mention of the RAM prices, which I've also touched on and what I've also bitched about quite a few times now because of AI driven data centers, and also one of only 3 RAM manufacturers just abandoning the consumer market come 2026 because they'd rather instead just exclusively sell and work with AI. So,
Which I don't get.
yippee! That's great for all the normal people out there that want some technology in their homes. Hopefully you like fucking flint and steel and start learning the ways of the Amish, because soon technology will be a luxury you can't afford. It's crazy how as we get more and more advanced, it just starts to price people out. It's not getting cheaper, it's getting so much worse because of AI. And there's this crazy hopium, this fucking crackpot lunacy thought process that people have, that once these AI data centers are all established and all these companies, worth trillions, start slowing down a little bit, well, then everything's going to get so much cheaper and it's going to be great for all of us. It's just going to be long term pain, or
It's
sorry,
not.
short
It's
term
not gonna
pain
get
for the
cheaper.
long term gain.
It's
You
not gonna get
know, because
cheaper.
that always
It's
works. You
gonna
know,
get so
trickle
much more
down has a
expensive.
great history.
So much
That is
fucking
a
more
fucking
expensive.
flawless. That's 100% win rate when it comes to trickle down. And not only that, we all know corporations love to lower their prices. So once they're set up and once they've made oodles unfathomable amounts of money, they'll definitely start lowering the prices for every average Joe Schmo out there. That happens all the time. They love lowering prices. We see it often because
No.
they are for the
Because what's going to happen is how they're going to see it is they're going to sit there. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, you're able to pay $5,000 because that's going to be what the price is. Somebody's gonna buy it. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, they'll stoop down to this level," and then that's how a corporation works, basically. I work in a corporation of fucking trampoline park, right? The minute that they raise their prices, right, and the minute that people start paying for it, and they start keep on coming, like they keep on coming to their business, they're not going to lower it. They're not going to lower it unless you sit there and you're like, no, we're not going to fund you, NVIDIA. We're not going to buy your GPUs anymore. We're not even going to buy like AMD like GPUs anymore, or any GPUs for that matter. It doesn't matter. There's a supply and demand, right? So you have to think about it this way. If let's say somebody's GPU were to break or stop working, start doing like crazy fucking like artifacting on their screen. They're like, shit, bro, I need a GPU. I can't I can't, force this one along anymore. I need to buy another GPU. eBay is going to be the first thing that's all fucking snatched up, right? Everybody's going to be buying everything from eBay. Everything that's going to be like that, it's going to be completely gone. The market's going to be completely gone for an eBay GPU. It already is. I've been looking at it. A lot of the market for the eBay GPUs really expensive because people are going to think, oh, well, if Nvidia can hire their price or make their price higher, then on eBay I can make my price higher. You see where I'm going here? Shit, it's just gonna keep on stockpiling because it's gonna be supply and demand. That's how it works with every fucking company. It doesn't matter whether it gets, to a point where everybody's established, they are able to stop making so many fucking AI server built GPUs. They're just gonna keep the price at the same. They're gonna even like make it higher. They're gonna make it to like probably like 10K. And that's the thing. Inflation's not gonna go up that high to where they're gonna make it in like where inflation is like, oh, you're getting like everybody's getting a pay raise, like minimum wage pay raise is actually coming out in 2026. It's not gonna be enough to pay for a fucking GPU. I make Everett's minimum wage. I'm fucking poor. I'm poor. I have $0 to my name right now. $0. They're not gonna make it any more expensive, or they're not gonna make it any more cheaper for fucking anybody else. They're gonna raise their prices. They're gonna say, oh, you want our highest quality GPU? Yeah, we're gonna raise their fucking price to, so then you can buy our highest quality GPU because we know that you'll pay for it. And that's the thing. You're not going to be able to stop it. You're not going to be able to get everybody along to be like, ban the prices of GPUs or stop buying GPUs so then they'll lower the prices. No, because somebody's going to go out there. They're going to buy that GPU because they're going to need it. It's it's how the world works, unfortunately, and it's not how world. It's not about how the world has been going lately because it doesn't matter either way. Like the world is just gonna be like this forever. It's gonna constantly be going up. Everything's gonna constantly be like getting higher in prices. Gas prices aren't gonna really lower that much. We're running out of fossil fuels. I mean, realistically, like if anything's gonna stop, it's gonna be how the world's ran and the price or in the market and all that. Because the rich are just going to get richer and the poor are just going to get more poor. And that's how the world works, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, he makes a good, like, Most Critical makes a good point here. Like, shit's not just going to go down because you're like, oh, they're established now. They're not gonna like change shit because or like for you. They're not gonna do that. They're a company. They don't care about you. No company cares about you. Like literally nobody, no company actually like gives a shit about one single person. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I really am not. I really am not. But I'm saying like realistically a lot of companies don't go into the opinion of what their consumer wants unless it's all their consumers and it's a majority of the consumer. Realistically, Nvidia has never been a very big fan of like, oh, listening to their consumers either way. So, and neither has Apple, realistically. Like anybody that, says, oh, yeah, no, Apple will 100% sit there and, you know, give me the best deal on everything. They're not going to give you the best deal on everything. They're going to give you they're going to give you the most like terrible deal. And I'm just letting you know that now. Just so then in the future, when you go to buy a phone and when you go to buy like fucking AirPods, and you're like, why is the price so high? Well, Apple's like, because I want your money. I want your money. And they're going to say, my company won't run unless I have your money. It's not true. It's not true. Apple has trillions of dollars, billions of dollars. That's not true. Why do you think Amazon's so fucking so good? So good of a company. They have the infrastructure to be like, yeah, it's supply on demand. They also have some good things too, where they offer the customers, which is my next segment, actually. If you're not already subbed to my, Twitch, you could always use your Amazon Prime and get a free Twitch Prime sub. I will say that. It's pretty peak. You get no ads, which is even better because then you don't have to worry about fucking people offering you, hey, do you want this big ass fucking GPU for $5,000? Yeah, you don't have to get that fucking ad. So, I mean, it kind of evens out a little bit. You paying a little bit monthly, on your Amazon anyways. And I know for a fact some of you have Amazon Prime. If you don't, it's actually not a bad thing to invest in. Amazon Prime is actually probably going to be one of the things that actually does make it out of 2026 and 2025 in general, and will continue being a thing. If it doesn't, I'm a big stinking liar, and I'm sorry about that. But Twitch is ran by, Amazon, and to be honest with you, they're doing pretty fucking good for everything else. But anyways, back to the video.
People. So it's clearly just a matter of time before everything's really affordable again in the tech sector. We just gotta wait for them to reach the golden age, and then it's all smooth sailing. We're in good shape. And until then, well, why don't you just go ahead and start renting computers? Yes, a subscription-based economy. Just start renting your PCs because you don't need to own anything. Companies don't want you to own anything. You will own nothing and you will be happy. You can have the imagination of ownership with their little permission slip. You can license it for a certain amount of time, and that's all you need. You don't need any pesky ownership of anything, especially not a computer. I'm getting a
Everybody's
little lost in the sauce
net
of
worth is going to
sarcasm.
go down
It's all
so
bad. It's all
far.
really bad right now.
So
It sucks.
far.
This wonderful little nugget of good news also comes on the heels of a previous blessing that nvidia gave us, where it was announced that nvidia might be cutting supply by up to 40% in 2026 due to memory shortages. I already talked about that, where there's the potential that nvidia is going to be cutting back on supply by 30 to 40% come 2026.
Parents of children who play Roblox.
See, I mean, I have to run through this ad real quick. Hold up.
About when it
There we
comes to
go.
the future of PC gaming, and not just PC gaming. I know everyone gets focused on that. This affects every industry in the tech space. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that means consoles will be the best option going forward too.
No, because
And maybe
consoles
they
won't
will
be able
be
to
a
have
more
RAM,
price conscious option because
and they
PCs
won't have
are
fucking
looking to
GPUs that they
astronomically
can throw in there.
change in price. But those are also going to be affected too. The price on those is also going to be all cattywampus as well. It's just a matter of time. We don't know what that's going to look like, but it's going to happen. They use components.
Because I'm pretty sure like Xbox runs mostly off of AMD. Like they have an AMD processor, and I'm pretty sure they have an AMD GPU specifically built for Xbox. But I have no idea what the like current spec is off that. What I will say is that the Xbox Series X, the production value and the cost for it is going to go way higher. The ROG Ally, the handheld, like Steam, just like the fucking, I don't know, competition to the Steam Deck. Steam Deck is, like competing with the ROG Ally. Those are going to go up in price because they don't have traditional parts anymore. They have to do all their sourcing through nvidia, or they have to do all their sourcing through AMD, and the ROG Ally does all their sourcing through AMD, because I'm pretty sure ROG is an AMD company. I'm pretty sure. I think they're no. ROG is Asus, and I'm pretty sure Asus goes through AMD a lot more than they go through Intel or Nvidia. But it's just it's the sheer like thought of like, look, shit's not gonna get cheaper. It's never gonna get cheaper. It's just gonna get more expensive. You're also never gonna own anything ever, ever anymore. Trying to own a house nowadays like is genuinely terrible. Trying to get a loan on a house. I haven't gone through this personally, but I mean, even trying to get rent through a house is terrible because of how the market is. It may not be in your state and it may not be in your country, but I will say like the majority of like people in general that just say like, oh, well, it's fine. You know, it's fine that we have, these crazy price hikes. It's fucking not, dude. It's genuinely terrible. It pisses me off. Cause what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do in the near future when I want to give you guys more of like a clean response, or like a clean response time to how my fucking setup looks? You know what I mean? Because that all bases off of like what you guys can see, right? Like you guys are able to have like I think it's like 10 or 720p right now video. I can't give you anything higher because I can't go and fucking buy like a monitor that's higher output than that. Or wait, what is this stream going? Quality. I can give you 1080p. That's about it. I thought it was 1080p. I fixed it to like 1080p constant. But that's what I'm saying, dude. It's a struggle out here. It's a struggle out here for 1080p. 1080p streaming. But mind you, there's 4K. There's 4K coming out. I'm pretty sure there's coming out with like 8K here pretty soon. This is just the market for tech is just going to go up. The market for houses, the market for food, the market for everything is going to go up. I'm just letting you guys know, if you guys want to get anything sooner rather than later, you might as well get it now. Because at this point, that's going to be an investment. May not be a true investment because I don't know how, tech companies are going to really, go out and be like, oh, well, you have a lease on your monitor. It's a forever lease, but you have a lease on your monitor. Whatever you do to it is your problem at that point. It's not like you own anything anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. This is terrible. Terrible. I don't know. Let's get back into it.
That are exploding in price. So it's everything that's going to be affected, and it's not just gaming. It is literally everything in the tech space that uses these components. And guess what? That's pretty much everything in the tech space. Now, to revisit the article briefly about the GPU price soaring, both companies are reportedly planning to continue raising GPU prices every month going forward. It's highly likely that the price increases will extend across their entire product lineup, encompassing not only consumer GPUs, but also GPUs for AI data centers and servers. The average proportion of memory in the overall GPU manufacturing cost has recently exceeded 80%.
Which is
This comes
insane.
from the insider that's making these claims. Again, none of it's fully confirmed or anything, but it also wouldn't even fucking surprise me. 2K to 5K is an incredible leap, but it's also just not that unrealistic anymore, actually. Like, take for example something even simpler, like a Game Pass. They literally doubled the price of that product. Companies aren't really afraid to absolutely blow up their price because people still pay it. So they just say fucking cowabunga and let it rip. So
That's
I do think 2 to 5K, while being astronomical, isn't something that's off the table. Now, again, it's not confirmed. Maybe it won't be up to 5K. Price will increase, no doubt, but maybe it won't go up to that crazy level. Maybe it doesn't. But even still, it probably will be a sizable price increase that is just something to not look forward to. And it's really like I'm not seeing any like good news coming in the future with all of this shit. Like it feels like it's only going to continue to spiral more and more out of control for just your average consumer. It just super sucks. And even the most adamant of deniers will eventually have that come to Jesus moment of, wow, I can't afford things now because of AI. This is having a detrimental impact on my life. It's going.
And it will be, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this in the most heartfelt way possible. It's gonna be those people, right, that are having, the sit down thought of like, oh shit, right? Oh shit, I'm so fucked. Like, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be like, oh fuck. This is gonna be genuinely terrible. Genuinely terrible. Because it's not gonna be like just a simple little thing of like, oh yeah, this is, no big deal. This is a very, very big deal. That's just gonna, that's gonna how it, it's gonna how it, sorry. Just a little bit mind boggled about how this whole fucking subject is coming up. This is gonna be how people enter their demise, is because the people that aren't able to believe it are gonna sit there and they're gonna be dead broke after they buy all their shit. They're not going to be able to sell it for the original value that they had bought it for, and it's going to just be even worse. They might come out on top actually. You never know. They could buy a GPU, right? A brand new nvidia GPU. Nvidia could mark everything up to like fucking, 800%. They could sit there, they could be like, "Damn, bro, I'm fucking broke. I can't buy the new GPU." And then they could sell it. They might be able to buy, and they might be able to be like, "Oh, I'm not broke." But at the same time, like, dude, that is so much money that you are willing to sit there and waste over the fact that you need a new GPU, or that you want to just buy the new GPU every year. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. To be honest with you, on my opinion on this, I feel like realistically, just all summed up, shouldn't buy a GPU anymore. Shouldn't buy a GPU. Just go to the used market, buy a fucking, 1060, buy a 4060. This one works for me great. I don't play a ton of like crazy AAA games with it, and I don't play Call of Duty Black Ops religiously, but if that is something that you do and you're making money while doing it, and you have the money to do it, buy a GPU. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, that is all up to you. Because for big streamers, that's going to be what's going to happen, you know? For me, the smaller streamer, right? Like bottom of the food chain, lowest of the low, it's genuinely going to be like the hardest thing to do is sit there and try and like justify the fact that I should buy a new GPU or that I should buy, new hardware because of how the market is looking. And that's just my take on it. And to be honest with you, you guys may not love this take, but that's how it is. Stop buying GPUs. Stop giving into the whole fucking nvidia, you know, oh, I can buy a new or I can have a new GPU for the price of $5,000. That is ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to justify that in your head unless unless you absolutely need it. There's ways that you can justify it, and I'm just trying to give a silver lining here, I guess, of like, yeah, you're crazy like content maker, you need a GPU that, is able to do editing, that's able to do everything else. You get a pretty nice Indian one on PETA, bro. Hey, the Indian GPU market, I don't know. I'm just saying, but like, yeah, this is gonna be one of those where it's gonna be hard to sit there and try and justify that, like, at all. I can't justify it for me. Fucking stupid as shit. Anyways, that's my whole take on this. Props to freaking Moist Critical Penguins. He's pretty cool. Uh, I'm subscribed to him. I watch a lot of his videos, like 95% of the time, just of like what he's fucking ranting about. But I give all my props to him for his video. Give him a like. But yeah, I don't know. I can't justify it. I don't think that you guys should be able to justify this. And to be honest with you, this is just me trying something new on stream. Just to give like myself a little bit more content that I could post on YouTube and other social media platforms. That's going to be a little bit easier for me to like kind of post on there. Other than that, hope you guys have a good day and a good New Year's. This is actually my New Year's post. I will probably be on later tonight. Thank you, Benjamin, for the freaking. How many bits is that? 317 bits. Oh, no, 217 bits. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, big dog. But yeah, I mean, that's basically my whole shit of how everything is. Damn, you were just going after it with the bits today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't know. If you like my streams, twitch.tv/iconicvoids. Shit's pretty chill. Just remember, you always have a free Twitch Prime sub if you have Amazon. Go on, give me a sub if you think that this was relatable. If not, it is what it is. But yeah, probably gonna get off streaming, and then I'll probably get on streaming in probably a couple hours to do a New Year's stream. Ben, you gotta stop, dude. Yo. There we go. Type shit. Type shit. Yo, Ben, where are you getting this money from? on some real shit, where are you getting this money from? There's no shot. You know what? I'll stay on stream. But anyways, I'll edit this out and then I'll make this a YouTube video. If you are not already followed to me, or if you are not already subbed to me on YouTube, drop a sub, drop a comment on the video as well. And yeah. But anyways, other than that, yeah. Fuck nvidia.